This is my very biased, very unfair review of my Road Glide Limited with the 131 Stage 4 Harley Davidson. I kind of got to thinking about what it would be like to have a new bike. I didn't want one. I was happy with the one I had. I don't know. I was like, well, if I ever did get a bike, I would like for it to have these things, you know. And so traction control, the 131. I wanted a crate and not the kit actually. Road Glide. I wanted to have a warranty. All the other stuff was kind of meaningless to me, like the CVO package. I just don't really. I'm just like kind of meh. Whenever I was thinking that I was going to get a bike, I definitely wanted to have the 131, which put me. I was completely sure that I wasn't going to get a bike because it was so expensive in the grand scheme of things, you know. I don't need no $40,000 bike, but I got one. My bike is the 2020 Road Glide. It has the silver denim, or barracuda denim or something, I don't know. It's the two-tone. The 131 is the kit. It is not the crate. There's probably pros and cons out there. The one thing though that there is not a pro and con on, the way I understand it, is money. The kit costs less than the crate, but there's a whole lot less labor in swapping out a crate versus building the kit. So the labor kind of offsets the savings that you would get. So you're really close dollar for dollar within, I think, $1,000 or $2,000. So you're not really gaining anything with money in terms of the kit versus crate. I initially was thinking I would have peace of mind with the crate coming straight from Harley ready to go, but I've been seeing some guys with some horror stories a lot more on the crates than the kits, which is sad and disappointing. Harley. The performance of my 131 is pretty badass. It's really easy to break the ass in on that bike. I mean, you just flick the wrist, man, and she wants to go. I really, this bike's fun to ride. It really is. It gets up and it goes. Once she hits 3,500 RPMs and you want to roll back on the throttle, she wants to go, and she will. Got plenty of torque. Yeah, I mean, shit, me and the old lady, we ride wheelies in fifth gear. Of course, that probably has to do with, weight distribution. I won't go into how much weight is on the bike, but there's a lot. And I've never been stuck behind an 18-wheeler. I've never been stuck behind anything for that matter. The only thing that has to do with performance is the damn limiter that Harley puts on their damn tuners. It dynoed 10 pounds difference between the horsepower and the torque. There's 10 pounds more torque than horsepower. Now, it was either 129, 139 or 139, 149. I asked my family to keep the dyno sheet, but here we are. One of the things that was pretty important for me was it's got a warranty and I don't have to jack with it if something breaks. It's, it's the new, they just came out with that motor at the beginning of the year, so, there's gonna be problems with it. I don't wanna have any issues with it. And if I do have issues with it, I don't want to have to spend any money. I want to be able to get on my bike and ride it anywhere, and I don't want to have to tinker with it and jack with it and take a toolkit with me and blah, blah, blah. I just want to ride. And my bike is set up very well for me or me and a passenger, whether I'm going from here to the ice house or if I'm going from here to Ohio. I just could not be happier. Well, I could be happier, but I'm very happy with my bike. My bike does not have traction control, and that was one of the check boxes in my head that I wanted to have. Just because it's a new feature, and actually I didn't want it at first. Salesman kind of talked me into it. I mean, it's only $1,000, and you cannot add it. It has to be on the bike from the factory. It's not something that you can just add later. So I was like, well, I want it, and then if I don't like it, I could just turn it off. Well, come to find out, you got to turn it off every time you start the bike. Yeah, no traction control for me. The only real true gripe that I have is the speed limiter. So like I said, it's the bike came completely built from Waco Harley Davidson. They used all Screamin Eagle shit on it. the pipes, which they're pretty quiet, the tuner, everything, you know, so it's all Harley warranty shit. Their tuner has a limiter of 114 miles an hour. And I don't want to hear any shit why I don't need to be going 114 miles an hour. What I just can't get my head around is why? Why 114 miles an hour? Why not 120 miles an hour? Why not 100 miles an hour? What is it about 114? Is it the engine size of the, you know, what is it? There's a guy, I was stalking his ass on Instagram, and I think he thinks I'm kidding. He said that they were building a 131, all Screamin Eagle, and then I said, I commented on his post and I said, hey, does that have the 114 speed limiter on it? He goes, yeah, but we're gonna take that off. And then I said, and keep it under warranty? And he goes, absolutely. And then so I was like, you gonna tell a fella how to do it? Or do I need to drive to Canada to figure it out? And then he kind of shrugged me off. I'm like, when it thaws out up there, I will ride my ass up there and have you fix it. I'm dead serious. I ain't trying to have no 114 mile an hour speed limit. It's a big deal for me. I've limited that bike out in 4th gear. And I mean, she's got more to give. She's like disappointed. Like, oh. And I'm like, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, sweetheart. This is where we are. I bitch a lot about the limiter. What is it about 114 miles an hour that you're like, 115 is just too much? If you're gonna put a governor on it, put it at 90 or something or whatever. Don't, by the way. That's a big deal for me. I've had problems with the limiter on it, you know, but have I mentioned the speed limiter yet? Because that's kind of a big deal. I had a couple salesmen try to convince me into getting a CVO for the same price that I was looking at getting the motor. And I was like, does the CVO go faster than the 131? I'm not spending an extra 10 grand to take pictures with my bike. I'm spending an extra 10 grand to go faster on my bike. At the end of the day, I'm, you know, again, very biased. I think everybody should have one. If you're riding an Indian, I feel sorry for you. Hey, I told you it was gonna be biased. I told you this was gonna be unfair. I don't care that your bike, your Challengers come, you know, dollar for dollar, a lot more equipped than my Road Glide. I don't care. I own a Road Glide, and if you don't have one, you're wrong. That simple. Oh, I should be in the news. No. I should be on the news. With opinions like that, I could be in politics. I had Waco add a different seat and different handlebars. I'm 6'4", 230 pounds, 240 pounds after Thanksgiving. And the stock bars, I'm like a freaking polar bear on a tricycle. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna do bigger bars and a more comfortable seat as soon as I find that seat. My brother has not had good luck with the Saddleman. You know what I would really like? I would like to ride on somebody's Saddleman who has it broke in already. I would be willing to put in the miles if it was just like, oh my God, this is so comfortable. But the Mustang Pro Tour seat that I had on my electric ride, I rode it for like a week locally, and I was like, this seat's pretty badass. Anyway, yeah, handlebars, seat. I'm definitely gonna do Legend suspension, new windshield. I'm probably not gonna get too carried away with anything else. I really like the way the bike looks. I like the color. I'll probably do some lighting on the back. Oh, you know what? I am gonna do some fuck you, I hate your bright ass light bar on the front. I wanna be seeing people in 2 counties away. So I'll probably get the FCK Light bar. They have 10,000, what is it, 10,000 lumens? They're supposed to be the brightest light in the game. So I will probably be doing that PDQ, because man, I've had some close calls riding at night, man, and it sucks. So, but yeah, outside of that, I don't know. That's probably gonna be it for me. The air cleaner that's on it, it blocks the radiator door. So you gotta take the air cleaner off to get into the radiator door, check the coolant levels, which, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, it's not like it's a huge deal breaker because it's still on my bike. The conveniences suck. Their execution sucks. So that could be a lot better And frankly, for the kind of money that we're spending on these bikes, it should be a lot better. The thumb joysticks, I love that, but the execution in the software, it just sucks. There's so many things that just make it suck. Communication from the app on my phone, the Android, and I don't want to hear from you iPhone fuckers, but my Android app, Harley app, and the Boom on my bike, they don't communicate very well. The map itself, if I'm using the map, it's like Google Maps in its first version, you know what I mean? It's just like it gets lost, loses signal, it doesn't take me where I want. That's the other thing, it's like I would like to have Android Auto on my bike, but then now my headset doesn't work. Yeah, I know the WIM or the FreeWire, but this is just all bullshit, you know? And again, all the conveniences really don't mean shit to me in the grand scheme of things. I can get on my bike and ride, and then when I run out of road, I'll be like, oh shit, where am I? What are we doing? Was we supposed to turn somewhere? I mean, man. So it's nice to have somebody jump on my helmet and say, turn right, stupid. So how I currently ride is like this. If I've got a destination and I plan out a route, I'll plan it out in Google Maps, and then I'll have my phone navigate, and then I get the turn-by-turn directions in my headset. And this isn't like going to the store. This is like if I'm going from here to Corpus, or, you know, like 4-hour ride is when I do this. So I plan both routes in Google and the Android. So I send the route from my app to my bike, and it's a 50-50 shot if the correct route gets to my bike. So that sucks. But I get the turn-by-turn in my head, so that's nice. So what's important for you to know about me is this. I use the words love and hate, and I really don't even use hate. But love I use when talking about people. Hate, I usually don't ever use that word. This is the first inanimate object that I would say I love. I love that bike. The SPM is pegged, brother. Whenever I twist back on the throttle, that gauge goes all the way over to max, and it doesn't let off until I park the bike and put the kickstand down. The SPM is high on that bike. All right, I think that we're done here.